Good morning, you are watching channel We Are One, and today we are going to discuss a very important and pertinent topic that after Pakistan, now terrorism has been started on Indian borders by Turkey, and Turkey has started this on Indo-Nepal border. We have to know that what's the conspiracy behind it. Does China is doing it, or there is somebody else face? How India is going to tackle it, and how Indian army is going to eliminate it. All of this we are talking to none other than Brigadier Dr. Vijay Sagar Dheman, who is a foreign expert and an international affairs expert. Brigadier sir, the basic and most important question is, after Pakistan, now terrorism on Indian borders started by Turkey, as Al-Qaeda linked Turkish group is expanding bases at Indo-Nepal border. Now I need to ask is, what is the significance of this Indo-Nepal border and how dangerous it is going to be?
You see, Turkish terrorists coming on Indo-Nepal border or coming on Indian soil is a very serious affair. But before I tell you how difficult and how disastrous this is, I want to tell you all a bit of a history of this thing. Turkey in its older times was either Byzantine Empire or Ottoman Empire, and it had a large influence, very rich in culture, very rich in traditions, and a very, very good sort of meaning people over there. And even the heritage left by them, let's say in Constantinople or Istanbul of today, it is still can be talked about. And suddenly this particular area changes into some kind of a radical Islamist regime. It is a little difficult to understand. But then the fact is there. There have been events which guided on to this. Firstly, we must understand that with the advent of Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia as a partner of US started turning a little more softer towards the world. The Organization of Islamic Countries, which was headed by Saudi Arabia, had to change its mind. And this was not liked by a guy called Erdogan, who was heading Turkey. And short before that, there was a person called Ataturk, who was a known leader. But after the advent of Erdogan saw an opportunity when Mohammed bin Salman went a little softer towards the rest of the world and became a little moderate. So Erdogan thought that this is an opportunity that he can grab to become the leader of the Muslim world. So firstly, they were fighting along with America in Middle East and Syria against the ISIS. So till then it was okay. But once the ISIS was finished, and thereafter the American forces had started withdrawing from there, so that is the time the Turkey started fighting against the Kurds. They did not want the Kurds to come and take over the position left by the ISIS. And that was the time Pakistanis joined them, Malaysians joined them, and even Pakistanis had a bit of a rough sort of a treatment by the Saudi Arabians. So Pakistanis thought probably Erdogan is the leader of tomorrow as far as the Islamic world is concerned. So they started siding. So this is where the cooperation between Pakistan and the Erdogan started against the Kurds, along with the help of ISI of Pakistan, which sent all its trained terrorists which are there in their own country in terms of Hafid Syed and your Mullah Omar and etc. and their men. And not only they finished the Kurds, they even sent them to fight in Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia war, and they were successful thereafter. Now what has happened is this nexus of Pakistan, Malaysia and Turkey is being aided by China as well. And China has made certain pacts along with Iran. And Iran is also little anti-US as of now. So that is the time a nexus grew wherein they started breeding terrorists. Now what do they do about it? When Pakistan is helping Turkey with its terrorist squads to help Turkey's goals in Nagorno-Karabakh, same thing, now they have now started importing those terrorists from Turkey or from that Middle East, aided by Pakistan, into Nepal against India. And same thing probably, we will also getting certain reports, they are coming towards Kashmir as well. So this is a thing of future. In future, Pakistan will say it is not our terrorists. They are probably terrorists from Turkey. And maybe that would be so. But then overall organization remains the same. And they will be running on behest of China on behest of Pakistan against the interests of India, and they'll be doing killings, lootings, terrorism acts within the country. So our security forces have to be very, very agile, very, very vigilant, and look for these new faces which are entering our country.
Right, but the Turkish NGO IHH is working closely with Islami Sangh Nepal. So what is being done to eliminate it, and how important is to eliminate it?
See, the first this organization that you're talking about, let me tell you, it is China, Nepal and Pakistan axis. All those Chinese diplomats who have experience in Pakistani High Commission or Pakistani Foreign Office have been brought to Nepal. So they are basically, they all in sort of collision with each other. So now when they are getting all those things, the aim is known that they have to make sure that India's influence in Nepal goes down, and you get more of these guys over there, and they all aided, abetted, and the plans are being made by ISI, so they will come and operate over here, and they will be doing what they are doing at the moment. But I think it is a little tall order, because lots of people in Nepalese are actually people of lot of grit and lot of resistance. They are proud of their own heredity, and I'm sure what they did for last 500 years, no British could conquer them. Same thing will happen over here. The protests have already started. Maybe certain corrupt leadership in Nepal, siding with the Chinese diplomats or some, terrorists from Pakistan, they may be able to do something. But overall, it's a tall order. Nepalese people will definitely resist it.
There are projects started to broaden support base among minorities Muslim community. So what is the conspiracy behind it? We all need to understand that also. Kindly give some light on it also.
See, the conspiracy is very clear. The aim is to make some inroads into Nepalese society against India. And which is the best place to radicalize the existing Muslim minorities within Nepal? So that is what they are trying to act. They are trying to radicalize them by giving them money or sort of giving them certain incentives from the religious establishment. And then once they're totally brainwashed, and the policy of jihad is put into their minds firmly, they will start acting against India, whether on Indian soil or even on Nepalese soil. They'll start sort of doing propaganda against India and doing all anti-India activities from there.
Is China doing it from behind and keeping the face of Turkey in front? If it is so, then it will be very dangerous.
No, China is a superpower. The ambitions are becoming superpower. Turkey has got ambitions of becoming a leader of Islamic world. Now, Turkey is at a much smaller state, though it is an ally of Americans. But Americans, after it bought S-400 from USSR, have pulled their hands back. So Turkey feels little, I wouldn't say threatened, but little isolated. But at the same time, China has stepped in. Now, whatever dirty work China wants to do in the world and yet maintain its prestige as a responsible superpower, it will ask Turkey or Pakistan to do in terms of terrorists. If a terrorist strikes have to be done, some malicious propaganda has to be done, China will be using these two countries most probably to do all that. And in case there is any nuclear misadventures required, China will not do it himself. They will ask again Pakistan or South Korea to do it for them. So this is the strategy of China. They'll maintain a goody-goody image of being a responsible superpower in the world, and whatever objectives they want to achieve by these subversion and these covert sort of activities which are not which are against the principles of United Nations which we follow, they would be asking these countries, these rogue countries, to be doing it for them.
So what will be the befitting reply to this conspiracy by us and by our Indian soldiers and by our diplomacy?
See, India has a very, very clear-cut policy laid down. Luckily for the present establishment in India, is very clear in its doing. They know who the enemy is and they know how the enemy is to be tackled. National Security Advisor has got a very clear mind. armed forces, security agencies, intelligence agencies, all on one platform, and then they know that this menace has to be nipped in the bud, and this will be done, and it's being done. But at the same time, India also has to be proactive on a political front against China, against Pakistan, against Turkey. They have a lot of fault lines within their own countries. They have to be addressed. Similarly, diplomatic offensives in all the countries in the world wherever our embassies exist, they must be briefed on daily basis as to what exactly is happening in India, what India is doing, and what the other countries are doing. So these kind of diplomatic efforts, political efforts, and even at the cultural exchange efforts where you meet people of the other countries in the world and tell them what exactly, how responsible India is behaving in in the kind of circumstances. And besides, of course, militarily, we have already done, and China knows what India's resolve is, and that's how this disengagement process has started already.
Thank you so much, Brigadier Dr. Vijay Sagar Dheman. We all now know that what is the conspiracy behind it, and like this, we will come to you again with a new international topic and understand with you that what is going on in all international diplomacies between the countries. Thank you so much.